Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the edge of a vast forest, there lived a young boy named Adebayo. At the age of 17, Adebayo was full of life and eager to make his mark on the world. He had grown up under the loving care of his grandmother, who often told him stories of distant lands and mystical beings. But Adebayo's greatest dream was to serve his master, a wise and prosperous merchant, and to learn the ways of business and trade. One day, as the sun set behind the mountains, Adebayo bid his grandmother farewell and left the village to serve his master in the big town. His heart was full of excitement, but little did he know, his journey would be far more difficult than he imagined. In the village, there was a woman, an old and mysterious figure, who was known to possess dark powers. She was feared by all, for many believed she was a witch who could cast spells and control the forces of nature. Her name was Olorunbi, and she had been the village's secret terror for as long as anyone could remember. Olorunbi had always envied the young boy's potential, seeing him as a threat to her own hidden power. When she learned that Adebayo was leaving the village to serve a master, she grew furious. "No one leaves my grasp," she whispered to herself one fateful night. "I will ensure his journey is a struggle he will never win." And so, Olorunbi set her sights on Adebayo. She used her dark magic to send him ominous dreams, filled with shadows and whispers. In these dreams, she appeared as a terrifying figure, warning him that he would never succeed, that he was doomed to fail. As Adebayo traveled deeper into the forest on his way to the town, he began to feel uneasy. His steps grew heavier, and every rustling leaf seemed like an ominous whisper. His dreams grew darker too, with Olorunbi's voice echoing in his mind. "You will never escape me, Adebayo. I will stop you." But Adebayo, despite the fear that gripped his heart, remembered the teachings of his grandmother. She had often told him, "My child, no force in this world is stronger than prayer. The power of your heart can defeat any darkness." With these words in his mind, Adebayo took a deep breath and knelt on the path. He closed his eyes and began to pray. "Great Spirit of the heavens, protect me from evil. Give me strength to face what I cannot see, and shield my heart from fear." As he prayed, he felt a warmth in his chest, a light that seemed to shine even brighter in the darkness surrounding him. He could feel the witch's presence grow stronger, but he held on to his prayer with all his might. The wind began to howl, and the trees around him seemed to groan in pain. Olorunbi's shadowy form appeared before him, her eyes glowing with malice. "You cannot win, boy. You are nothing but a child, and I am the witch who controls the night." But Adebayo stood tall, unshaken by the fear she tried to plant in his heart. He raised his hands to the heavens and continued to pray, louder this time. "I am not afraid. I have the strength of my ancestors in my blood. The light of truth will burn through your darkness." Suddenly, the ground beneath him began to tremble. The witch's form wavered, her dark magic unable to withstand the force of Adebayo's unwavering faith. The wind that had howled so violently now calmed, and the trees stopped their groaning. Olorunbi screamed in fury, but the sound was drowned out by a powerful light that enveloped Adebayo. With one final cry, the witch vanished, her magic broken by the purity of the boy's prayer. The darkness lifted, and the forest fell silent. Adebayo opened his eyes, and the world around him was at peace once more. Exhausted but triumphant, Adebayo stood up. His heart swelled with gratitude, knowing that his victory had come not through strength, but through faith and prayer. He continued his journey, now free from the witch's dark grip. When he finally reached his master's house, he was welcomed with open arms. But the story of his victory spread quickly through the town and the village, and Adebayo became known far and wide, not only for his courage, but for the strength that comes from believing in the unseen, the power of prayer, and the light that can overcome any darkness. And so, the boy who went from the village to serve his master returned not just as a servant, but as a hero, one who had defeated a powerful witch with nothing but his faith and his prayers.